Okay, in this part of the lesson, we're going to be working with volume of pyramid. So the volume of a pyramid is 1/3 the product of the area of the base and the height of the pyramid. So easier said, it's 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. So you guys have just worked with area of base times height for prisms. Because a pyramid gets smaller and smaller and smaller going up, we're going to actually find 1/3 of that. So you can either use the formula 1/3 base times height, which is often how it's stated. Another way that might be easier for many of you is to use this formula, which is where you're going to take your base, area of your base times your height, and then just divide it by 3. Okay, so that's the formula that we're going to be working with in this part of the lesson. Okay, so we're going to start out with this figure here. We've got an odd shape on the base. So they are actually telling us, and we worked with this in a previous section, the area of that base. So you have to remember that when they are giving you that capital B, they are telling you already the area of the base. So we're going to go ahead and start with that one. So they're telling us the area of the base is 48. So we're going to take 48 times the height. Okay, they're not giving us a slant height. This is the actual height from the base to the very top of that pyramid is 9. So we're going to take that times 9. Okay, so 48 times 9 is going to give me 432. Now, here's the thing. We need to find 1/3 of that. So I can either take this times 1/3 or I can just divide it by 3. So I'm going to do that divide by 3 in the end. And when I do that, I get 144. My units were millimeters, so it's millimeters cubed. Okay, because we are still working volume. So this is very similar to doing a prism, but you have to remember that pyramids, if you were to place 3 of them together, would actually create a prism. So we have to divide by 3 because it goes up to a point. Okay. Cones are very similar to pyramids. We use the same formula for a cone as we do a pyramid, just that we're working with different shapes. Okay, so here is a rectangular pyramid. Once again, you name it according to its base shape. So we're going to find the area of that base. So 4 times 3 gives us 12. We're going to take that times the height. So times 7. I get 84. And now I'm going to take that and I'm going to divide by 3 or take it times 1/3. I like to divide by 3. So 84 divided by 3 gives me 28. Units are feet, and it's volume, so it's cubed. Okay, so that one we had to find the area of our base. Okay, here's our next one. So this time it's what we would call a triangular pyramid because we have a triangle as our base shape. Okay, so we have our dimensions on that bottom triangle, this red triangle at the bottom, are 17.5 and 6. So remember, it's a triangle. So we're going to do 17.5 times 6 and divide that by 2. Or somebody else might do 17.5 times 3, doing that 6 divided by 2 in their head, which is fine. So I'm going to start out with doing this, 17.5. I'm going to do the times 3. Because I'm doing that 6 divided by 2 in my head, it gives me 52.5. That is our base. The area of our base is 52.5. Now I'm going to take that times the height, which is this dimension right here, 10. Okay, and when I do that, it's really, if anything times 10 is shifting my decimal order, so I get 525. Now I have to remember it's a pyramid, so multiple steps. Those triangle ones are always so tricky because, you know, you have that different formula for that base. So I'm going to have to divide by 3 because it is a pyramid. So 525 divided by 3 is going to give me 175. Units were meters, and it is cubed. Okay, remember, just follow those steps. Find the area of that base. Take it times the height. The only thing that's different on this compared to a prism is you're going to divide by 3 or take it times 1/3, whatever you're more comfortable with. Okay, so let's try this one. Once again, they're already telling us the area of the base right there. Okay, so they're giving us that. So we're going to take 21 times 6 and we're going to divide 126 by 3. So when I divide that by 3 or take it times a third, I get 42. And my units are feet, and that's cubed. Okay, so once again, working with volume of pyramids, we have to remember we're going to be doing our area of our base times our height, which is what we practiced when we did prisms, and then we're going to divide that by 3, or you can take it times a third, whichever you're more comfortable with.